Hey, all you lovely people, welcome back, or welcome for the first time. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. It really means a lot to me. As you saw in the thumbnail and the title, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Saw X. So stick around.
You're afraid of dying.
How do you know? You've never tried it before.
All right, everyone, before we jump into it, if you would, please give the video a like, consider subscribing, do all that jazz. It really does help me out, all that stuff. Now that that's out of the way. Saw X, we finally got a trailer, and the trailer looks amazing. It does. We see Jigsaw, we see Amanda, we get some voices of some other characters that might return. It looks amazing. And my first thought when seeing the trailer is it looks amazing. But I rewatched Saw 1 and Saw 2. I haven't got around to watching the other ones, but Saw 1 specifically. Let me just take a little second to say I think it's a modern masterpiece. I don't think it gets nearly enough credit. We talk about these big slashers, we talk about the classic horror movies, and the modern classics with like Pearl and X. I think maybe there's some other ones that could fit into the category of modern classic, but we don't give Saw enough credit. I am drawing or doing a painting of Billy the Puppet. Because of that, I've always obviously got the ghost face of this Jason, Michael, but we just don't acknowledge Saw enough, in my opinion. Now, the things I really love about the Saw movie, Saw the original OG, Lee Winnell, James Wan. First of all, the mystery around that movie. You're figuring things out as you go. You don't know who the killer is. You've heard of Jigsaw, but you don't know who they are. You don't know who these guys in the room are. You don't know who the dead guy in the room is. You don't know their stories, how they got there. Everything is unfolding in front of you, and it's unfolding beautifully. And you get intercuts with, it's nonlinear storytelling, which I love. There's a lot of flashbacks. And it's just, I don't know, the way it unfolds is magnificent. And then I watched the trailer for Saw X again, and I realized all the things that make Saw the original so good kind of don't apply to Saw X. Because one, we are, as if you don't know, Saw X, the 10th movie, is actually technically Saw 1.5. This chronologically takes place between Saw 1 and Saw 2. So we already know who the killer is, obviously. We know it's John Kramer. We know he's Jigsaw. We know he's got cancer. We know his entire story already. We already know Amanda's helping him. We already know about Hoffman. We already know what happens after this movie. We know what happened before it, and we know what happened after it. So there's not too much you can tinker with without messing up the timeline. So we already know who the killer is, or killers. But the trailer also revealed why the people are in the trap, which is a huge deal because that's usually part of the mystery. You're discovering what these people did in their lives to make them deserving of a punishment from Jigsaw. What they did with their lives, it makes them worthy to have to prove they deserve the life they have. But that's taken away now because we know from the trailer, and if you haven't seen, essentially the gist of the movie is Jigsaw goes to Mexico to or I don't know if it's actually Mexico. He goes to South America to get this procedure to remove a tumor. It's an experimental procedure, but it's to remove his brain tumor, to remove his cancer. And he pays a lot of money for it. And it turns out they didn't actually remove it. They just took his money, did a little operation, and went away. But so Jigsaw only has months to live because of his cancer. And these people have wronged him, And then you see these people, the doctor, the nurse, the anesthetist or whatever it's called. You see all these people in jigsaw traps. So we already know why they're there. We already know what they did. We already know who the killer is. So at this point, I got to be honest, I'm losing a little bit of excitement for it because I already know too much. And this all is just from the trailer. Like, this isn't me digging or researching. This is all from the trailer. We know Jigsaw's in it. We know Amanda's in it. We know Detective Hoffman is going to be back. We know who the victims are going to be. We know why they're going to be victims. That's a lot for a Saw movie. Like, you're not leaving enough, and they could be hiding some stuff up their sleeves. But right now, it really just seems like I'm going in to figure out what the traps are going to be and if they work or not. That's it. So it's a little disheartening to think about it that way, but that's something that's been on my mind. Like I said, watched the trailer, loved it, rewatched Saw 1, then I was like, wait a minute, then rewatched the trailer, and I was like, I don't know. It still looks good. I'm definitely going to go see it as well. You should if you're into that type of movie, just to support horror. But yeah, that's just some thoughts I had on my mind I wanted to share with y'all. And that's all I got. So let me know what you think about this Saw X trailer down in the comments. Who are you most excited to see back? Hoffman, Amanda, or obviously John Kramer? But yeah, I love you all. Have a safe week.